I think they might actually go for a lineup that actually fights very well because they have Tusk and Gyro. I think when you have those two heroes, you're not too afraid of going into the Tombstone. If you have somewhat a decent laning phase and you can start taking towers maybe at minute 10 to 15, like all the tier 1 towers. So if you want to go to a fighting route, maybe you can go for supports that are actually like a team fight type of supports like Witch Doctor, Earthshaker, this type of supports.
Okay. Well, going on with our bans, DK Anti-Image and then Viper being banned out. Let's take a look at Cloud9. Looking, No-Tail looking a little bit relaxed. Their first game in all of TI. And looking fairly relaxed. Same with LGD, of course. Not too much pressure. I mean, yeah, every point matters, but at the same time, nothing has been decided yet. Everyone's still at ground zero, right? Everyone's at 0 points. So you can try to feel things out in this best of 2.
Interesting to see Cloud9 ban out 2 heroes that technically could work with their draft as well, right? Both Dragon Knight and Viper actually fit very well together with Undying because they peak around the same time. They want to go and push towers. Viper's a good mech carrier. Dragon Knight with Dragon Form, of course, good at taking down tier 1s especially.
Do you think
so
it might
maybe they're taking it in a different direction then?
Yeah, do you think it might be a throw-off? Like we pick Undying, then we go for some split push thingy instead of when you pick Undying.
I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah, you usually think, okay, Undying, they're going to go 5-man. Then they pick Undying, then they have some quarters, some sort of split push lineup to throw the opponent off.
What about Phoenix? I think they like Phoenix a lot.
Yeah. Oh, Phoenix plus Tombstone is
like
really
Tombstone.
strong together.
It's incredibly powerful.
I haven't seen them pick it up too much recently, but I think a couple of months ago they just picked that hero first pick every single time.
And I expect the Undying to be more or less a support, played by No-Tail, more or less, most likely him.
There's still the option of running a Pugna if they wanted to try that together with the Undying.
The decrep on
that
the
is
Tombstone.
Decrepifying the Tombstone, pushing towers with Nether Blast is really good. Alternatively, maybe Cloud9 pick up the Undying, like you said, to throw the enemy off, but rather than playing a split push strategy, they actually just pick the Undying so the enemy immediately thinks, oh right, they're going to run aggressive, they're going to try to pressure our safe lane, and then you can just pick a super hard carry because the enemy has already started drafting a defensive safe lane, and then you just try to outcarry them with, say, like a PL for Envy, or maybe the Luna Ben was talking about could be pulled out, and she can actually get farmed incredibly fast if she doesn't get challenged. Her weakness is her how fragile she is in the super early laning stage, but if you can get over that, you obviously have a very powerful pushing carry at, say, minute 25. So that could be something they're looking at here. Undying is also great for the safe lane tri lane, by the way. In case the enemy wants to challenge, you're not in a bad position either.
Okay, so Cloud9 definitely having a lot more options here in terms of which style or which strategy they want to go for, which composition. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, I'm sure, obviously, in the next couple picks we'll find out. I mean, you kind of have to show your hand at this point for
Winter,
Cloud9.
yesterday you mentioned that you don't really like the Undying versus Gyrocopter matchup. Do you feel differently about it this game?
If you play it as a support and you have another plan, it's fine. I mean, I personally feel like the Lion. Okay, the Lion there, but I feel like if you are doing Undying, like what I meant was Undying with a heavy push threat against Gyro, I wouldn't recommend that.
Right, yeah, and yeah, you were talking about that earlier today too. I mean, depends on how they
what
want
you're
to do
doing
it.
with the Undying, yeah.
All right, well, Lion's been a talking point for us here all day yesterday. But I would say Lion's proven himself quite a bit yesterday in terms of his value.
Yeah, any AoE ability to follow after the Tusk Snowball is really important. Generally, teams prefer a safer one like Earthshaker, but I think Misery is really, really good on the Lion. He has proven time and time again. I think he's actually one of the best Lions.
Yeah, and it's a great pick, in my opinion, against Dazzle, because usually Dazzle wants to shallow grave as late as possible. And then all of a sudden, you get that 475 damage nuke just coming in from the Lion when you don't expect it, and you can't hit your grave timing. That is very crucial against a hero like Gyrocopter, where a lot of the time, I think we also saw this yesterday in the wildcard round, actually, Dazzle and Gyro got drafted together to protect the Gyro so that even if he gets jumped, he will still be able to get called down, all his flat cannon attacks off before he dies. If you catch him off guard, like the Cloud9 lineup here just bursts incredibly hard. Soul Rip, Sonic Wave, and Finger is about 1,000 damage just between those 3 abilities. So he needs to be on his toes with the Dazzle this way.
The Shao 8 special.
Support Lina?
Yeah.
Do you think that's support?
Might actually be Lina plus Tusk in the lane, though.
Yeah, they actually run that pretty often in the off lane.
It's very strong. Like
Doesn't maybe
disrupting
play
the farm.
core Lina? Because it's a good matchup against Quap. If they think
they
the Quap is mid, and I think they might still expect
There's options. Basically, there's options. There's a lot of options with this Lina pick.
I think they want to see for sure what Fada's hero is before, because they almost always wait for EE's heroes last, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you look at the first 3 picks from LGD, it's mostly like a lot of physical damage. So Lina is like sort of balances things out. with that magic damage as well. So, I mean, okay, so this should be Envy's hero. Razor, safe lane. This is what I've seen from them recently as well.
Can it stand up to a Lina Tusk, though?
With a lion, I'm worried, actually. I'm always worried when there's a lion on my lane.
Oh, we have been all day yesterday too, Winter. I guess we got proven wrong once or twice. Of course, it's very situational, very dependent on the game, but gotta have faith if you're gonna. I mean, at some point you do have to take certain chances, right? And if you have faith that your players can be like, all right, Mister, you are one of the best Lions. We're just gonna trust that you can pull out the best value out of Lion this game, because you guys were talking about this. If you get the highest potential out of a hero or a team, then that could really flip the game on its head. It's a risk reward.
It's more important to cater, I think, to what your players are best at,
Right.
as opposed to what you think is best for this current patch. Same with Lina for LGD.
Yeah.
Lina is not commonly picked. I mean, she's picked now and then, but LGD picks her far more often than any other team, I
Right.
would say.
What are LGD missing? So I personally think it's a mid Lina still. I don't think there's a bad matchup for her here. There's generally not a bad matchup for Lina mid. She doesn't really lose hard to anything.
Viper,
that
I would think.
Maybe,
but
yeah,
Viper's
Viper's
banned out.
So
They actually, Cloud9 actually think it's it's a support Lina, and they're right. It's
Yeah?
gonna be another
I was
Ember.
about to ask. I mean, yeah, assuming.
that could still be a core Lina, right? They could run an aggressive
Plus-
trial in with Ember.
okay,
that was
plus
done
support.
yesterday. Dazzle, Ember, Tusk is actually pretty decent. Or they could run Dazzle, Dazzle, Tusk, Gyro, which is a really powerful tri lane. But that would put their Ember safe lane one-on-one, which he
No, I
doesn't
would-
want against
You
these
generally
heroes.
don't want Ember to go unprotected.
We'll see.
I'd say
It's probably more likely.
Yeah, it's probably a safe lane Ember. Sorry, not safe lane Ember. I mean a core Ember.
Okay. Well, so Cloud9, I mean, do you think Cloud9 has to base it off of one of those? Like, do they have to choose which option they're going to base their last pick off of? Or for them, what are they missing, right? Because they've got the Lion. Obviously,
I
they've got
think
the Undying.
they're actually missing strong lanes.
Missing a tank as well, I feel. They need another tank.
Razor
Right.
doesn't suit that job, or Undying.
Or
I
you
feel
think it's
they
just too
would
middle
be,
ground?
It would be nice if they have Bristol back. But it's just a feeling. Just a feeling.
Watch it yesterday.
I think the problem for Cloud9 is going to be, it looks like, so when you have Razor and Undying together, you have this feeling that the game plan for the team is to try to push down towers at like minute 20 or 25, and
Yeah.
it just seems super difficult to do against the Radiant lineup. There's Call Down, Ice Shards, Dragon Slave, Sleight of Fist, and you even get Woven. If you start grouping up together to try to push the tower, Dazzle is going to thwart your efforts. So, and in addition to that, the Radiant lineup, with especially Ember, can actually put pressure on the map while defending. So
Okay.
you force them back. Oh, this is really interesting. This is a hero we haven't seen for a very long time.
some
But
time.
it's, in my opinion, Bone 7's absolute best hero.
Yes.
Second, or his Clockwork, I guess, is second to his Bat Rider, which is also very,
his
very
Bat Rider
good.
is
His Bat Rider
amazing.
Bat Rider, Clock,
incredible.
and Broodmother are three of his strongest heroes.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
I haven't seen anyone play it in I would say months.
yeah, I mean, quite
It's
some
been a
time.
long time.
But Bat Rider, I mean, everyone talks about how Bat Rider always finds his way back in at some point or another. But there we go, Bat Rider rounding things out for Cloud9. Winter, I mean, we talked a little bit about that. Where do you think, how is this all rounding out for Cloud9? Because we were talking so much about where does this Undying go, and what's the strategy here?
It's very strong lineup. Bat plus Undying, you lasso and go into the Tombstone. So they have a very formidable team fight, I'd say. But LGD do have ways to actually save the guy. Like there's Grave and there's Snowball. So we'll see how it plays out.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is game one, the very first game of TI5 in the first day as we go into the group stage. Top 16, it's going to be Cloud9 versus LGD in a best of two.
Game. We still have to keep in mind, though, he's going to have issues coming into the Gyro, the Tuskar, as well as the Ember. Like, even if you snowball, you could just lose everything you're looking for.
Definitely.
So it's not going to be an easy game for Bone 7 by any stretch of the imagination.
We'll see how that works out for the Bat Rider.
Yep. But right now, let's get ourselves into the game so we can welcome in our mainstream viewers. If you're joining us now, joining the people in Dota TV, I interview one, joined by Waga doing LGD, going up against Cloud9. Game number one here of our group stage. 3 games going on at the same time, but we are your pairs here on the mainstream.
Yeah, really excited for LGD versus C9. I'm really happy we get to cast this. We get to cast a lot of C9 games.
We do.
And we also have 2 IG games coming up later today. and we will cast plenty of them throughout the group as
It
well.
is heaven for a caster here at TI4.
It's so nice.
So many top quality teams, so many great matchups. There's never really a disappointing matchup.
Just barely seeing each other a little bit there as they run into each other. He saw the Tuskar. He also saw the army that was running in. At least the Queen and Batrider. The rest managed to sneak down.
It's kind of interesting that Cloud9 are doing this too, because when you look at LGD's lineup, their level 1 team fight's actually really good.
Oh, yeah. But
up against Cloud9's Undying, however, you probably have second thoughts.
yeah, exactly. Both teams have very strong level 1, in fact, but I think they may have said, like, oh, LGD have really strong team fights. They're probably going to go up and contest our jungle, so let's just ward their jungle, and that is the trade-off. So both teams blocking the opponent's single pull, or the safe pull.
Yeah.
So no small camps until they deward that.
However, C9 are a little bit late coming up to the top rune, so they're going to have to take the bottom, which is going to go to Fader, and the top. Smart decisions here by Big Daddy No-Tail as well as Bone 7. No reason to contest that top rune. However, Yao might be in trouble on bottom lane. He Shadow Strike into the Earth Spike as well. Yeah, he's got no escape. He does have 2 stick charges and the Shadow Strike's ticking him down. He won't die from this until the Plaza Field will arrive. Yao has to actually trigger the salve quickly and the stick charges. He'll survive
so
only just, but as you said, consumables being
At what
burned.
cost, Toby? That's terrible for him. 100 HP, 3 tangos available now, but his salve is gone, and Misery is not going to be going easy on him. He's got to keep him completely out of experience, and maybe
he's actually dead.
Maybe
Misery, is that enough? One more attack.
Oh,
there it comes, and he snowballs into poison. He's still going up to Misery, which means he's going to die. One more attack. There it is. First blood spilt by Cloud9 after it's been a thawing experience for a Tusker.
Yeah, and that means he has to purchase a TP scroll as well, so a disastrous start for him. And they also do not get the instant D-ward LGD. They are not going to be having the pull on bottom lane.
This is when you start looking towards your other lanes to try and pull it back for LGD. But top lane, not going to be an easy place, especially when you got 2 napalm stacks into the decay with the body block from No-Tail. Bone 7, now 3 stacks. Sylar, how much more damage is there? Another decay in 1 second.
So
it's going to be another one. He's salving up quickly. The decay, you'll stay alive. No-Tail, he's in so deep with the creep wave into the trees. No-Tail, there's your burst heal from MMY. Sylar in the tree line. No-Tail's going to go down way too deep on the top lane. And LGD gets something very big back.
Yeah, punished by the Dazzle there and how well he could just keep healing there, running after. And despite not having Rocket Barrage level 1, Gyrocopter does survive there.
And you're just seeing such aggression in all the lanes, even down at the bottom with the Plaza Field from Envy and Misery. They're just getting up in the face of Yao and Xiao Wei, and they know they can't really return the fight until Yao commits the snowball, and then you get the stun time to set up for the Light Strike Array. Then you've got your burst combo. But can you kill anyone down here apart from, well, Misery?
I think it's really tough, actually, and he's going to stand in pretty safe positions in general. I mean, Lina can trade effectively against a Lion. She has a little bit better trading hits, better range and harassment, but they can't do much against the Razor. As you said, he's just going to be free farming, and they don't have the pull. He gets the snowball.
This is going to be it. Xiao Wei, he actually only has Slave, though, so Misery just backs himself up. There's no follow-up stun. And they do actually just activate the bounty rune on that Lina.
They're so under-experienced. If they just had level 2 on these 2 heroes, that would have been an easy kill.
It's not as bad, though. Like if you look at the comparison between the supports, you got No-Tail, who's just shy of level 2. It's the same thing for the Lina. And then the Tusker, yeah, he's pretty low as well. But the Lion's only just cracked level 2, and he's back at base, so he's not getting experience for a while now.
Yeah, that is true. So both teams suffering a lot on their safe lane right now. But I can see Envy go aggressive again on Yao here, but a stun should just disjoint him here. I don't think he can keep chasing.
It didn't steal that much damage either, even with the 2 points up in Static Link.
Yeah.
What do you actually like about the build here for the Razor? Like, what's the best thing up against the lineup?
I think he will leave it at 2 points. I don't think he's going to max the Static Link. This is very common. You put 2 points into it. Now 2 more points in Plasma Field. So at level 5, you have 3 points into it. Or just 1 point